Welcome to a few moments together on the Parsha. This Shabbos, we have the privilege of reading Parshas Vayeshev. One of the famous psukim in the Parsha is discussed in the Gemara in Shabbos on the Chav Beis, and Rashi, in fact, quotes the Gemara. The pasuk says, when they threw Yosef into the pit, Vehabor reik ein bo mayim. The pit was empty, there was no water in it. Rashi immediately notes that if you say the pit was empty, it's obvious there's no water in it. Why did the Torah say that the pit was empty, there was no water in it? Says Rashi, quoting the Gemara, Mayim ein bo. There was no water in it. Avol nechashim ve'akrabim yeshbo. But snakes and scorpions were in it. Does that really answer the question? If the pasuk said that the pit was empty, and then it said there was no water in it, and by saying there's no water in it, you mean that there are snakes and scorpions in it, once again, the pit is not empty. Why did the Torah say that the pit was empty if it had snakes and scorpions? We're left with the same question even after the Gemara's explanation that Rashi quotes. So there are many answers to this. I'm going to focus today, just on two answers. One, the answer of Vayeshev ber Soloveitchik Zatzal, who said as follows: if you have a refrigerator, of course, is what stores food in it to keep it cold. If there's no food in the refrigerator, you would say, a refrigerator rake, ein bo food. But what if you fill the refrigerator with rocks? From floor to ceiling in the refrigerator, you put just rocks, so there was no room for anything else in it. Someone opens the refrigerator, they look at it, and they would still say, oh, the habor rake, ein bo food. The refrigerator's empty. There's no food in it. Right, there's no food in it, but rocks there are in it. And that, according to Rabbi Vayeshev ber Zatzal, was what the pasuk meant when it said, Mayim ein bo, avol nechashim v'akrabim yeshbo. That's one explanation. The Vilna Gaon, interestingly enough, and it's quoted, I saw it quoted for the first time many years ago in a sefer written by Rabbi Moshe Naftali Ullman Zal, who was a aged sage living right here in Borough Park till his demise at close to 100. And he wrote a sefer called Seil Ha'eda, which is a commentary of an eclectic sort on the Torah. And he quotes the Vilna Gaon, who said as follows: we know that Yeshayahu Hanavi said, Hoi kol tzomei l'chu lamayim. All you thirsty ones, go to water. Water, therefore, is symbolic of the Torah. And the Vilna Gaon says, the bore refers to the pit of the mind. It's a remez. The habor reik, if the mind is empty, and ein bo mayim, there's no Torah in it. Avol nechashim v'akrabim yeshbo. There are going to be snakes and scorpions. The mind does not remain empty. It's a vacuum. It can't remain empty. It draws in. Something got to fill it. And if you don't fill it with Jewish ideals, with Torah ideals, it's going to be filled with injurious product, snakes and scorpions. So the Gemara is telling us, as Rashi quotes, V'habor reik, if the mind is empty, ein bo mayim, and it doesn't have any Torah, avon nechashim v'akrabim yeshbo. There's going to be something to fill that vacuum. something to fill that void. The mind cannot remain empty. We want to fill it. We want it to be filled with something. The mind is constantly seeking and searching. And as long as we're seeking and searching and filling it with the beautiful words of the Mayim of the Torah, it waters the fertile mind and brings out the most beautiful flowers of not only Torah study, but Torah ideology and Torah ethics and values. So the Vilna Gaon is giving us a little bit of an insight into what it means to fill one's mind with Torah. Now, there are many levels of filling one's mind with this Torah. It could be deep Torah study. It could be Parshas Torah study. It could be prayer study. It could be hashkafa study. Absorbing the ideals and ideology of the Torah is the key. Because if there's discussion, if there's thought, if there's interest, and it fills the mind, we won't say v'habor reik. We'll say the bore is full. It's filled with Torah. There's no room for the snakes and the scorpions that are injurious. It's Erev Chanukah practically. Let's fill our Torahs with the light of Chanukah, the light of the Torah. Let us fill our minds with all the hope for the future of Klal Yisrael. Have a wonderful Shabbos.